If your beautiful Jaguar I-Pace electric car goes inelegantly poopy in its chinos on the way to Polo, relax, dude. The car might be an ex-parrot suddenly, but its battery can be resurrected almost like Jesus, only minus the woo-woo, to assist with JLR's propensity to paint itself green. I'm John Cadogan from AutoExpert.com.au, new car cheap, even Jaguars. However, I am duty-bound to inform you that a weekly appointment with a mid-spec dominatrix is going to be cheaper and every bit as painful. My other website, dominatrix.expert, for more on, well, let's call it alternative energy. Australia only, website, card. In breaking news, St Patrick and Dr Bruce Banner have lodged a class action in the Supreme Court. They allege JLR is guilty of aggravated trademark infringement. Goodness me, Hulk angry. We'll get to Jaguar in just a sec, but first, Kia actually came a close second in the automotive greenwashing sweepstakes this week, eagerly announcing that it had plucked 55 incredible tons of plastic waste from the ocean to use in future EVs. Kia didn't actually do the plucking, of course. They solicited the plucking with an ad on Craigslist or similar commercial arrangement. Who doesn't want an EV carefully crafted from someone else's floating junk? I'm pretty sure that means something entirely different in America. I'm not saying removing a proportionally tiny amount of plastic pollution from the ocean is bad. Quite the opposite. Well done. Good Kia. I'm saying it doesn't excuse building ridiculous carnival-sized EVs with morbidly obese 100 kilowatt-hour batteries, each weighing roughly as much as a Picanto. That is not offset by a green PR stunt involving a boat and a big net. Bad Kia. This report is sponsored by NordVPN. Visit nordvpn.com/AEJC now for an exclusive discount. Scammers and hackers truly are the cockroaches of the online world. Like, no matter how hard we try, they seemingly cannot be eradicated. These people spend their lives phishing with a PH. They're trying to scam us out of our passwords. They've got malware and ransomware. It never ends. It's a sewer. This happens all the time, okay? You think you've just connected to free Wi-Fi, and meanwhile, one of these roaches has just inserted himself between you and the internet like a leech, and he's about to start sifting through your data. This is actually called a man-in-the-middle attack. It's very common. But you don't have to be the next victim, right? You just need effective countermeasures, and that's exactly what NordVPN does. Nord does stuff that you and I don't really understand in the background. They encrypt your online traffic, they hide your IP address, and they bring other threat protection features to the front line of a fight that you might not even know you're in until it's too late. Go to nordvpn.com/AEJC now. You'll get a huge discount plus up to 4 additional months free and a 30-day money-back guarantee. That's nordvpn.com/AEJC. Link in the description. Just subscribe, download the app and connect. One click later, you are better protected. It's the fastest VPN on the planet. Your IP address is shielded, your online traffic is masked with state-of-the-art encryption. We're talking NSA spec encryption across as many as 6 of your devices. That's your phone, your tablet, your laptop, times 2, his and hers, whatever. There's 24/7 support, and it costs only about as much as a cup of coffee every month to keep your data, your identity, and your devices secure. And it works across Windows, Mac, Linux, Android, and iOS. Because your location is masked, you're going to be able to access streaming and other services that might be blocked where you live. Plus, another bonus, you can continue to watch your favourite content when you travel overseas. All up, it's a pretty small price to pay for enhanced cybersecurity and greater access to this and that online. Go to nordvpn.com/AEJC now to get more secure and enjoy a big discount, plus those extra months of free subscription time. Totally risk-free with Nord's 30-day money-back guarantee. That's nordvpn.com/AEJC, link in the description, and thanks to Nord for sponsoring this episode. Back to Jaguar now. In anticipation of the staggering number of eye-paces which will undoubtedly need a clean-up in aisle 2, so to speak, JLR has sparked up a properly chartreuse relationship with a bunch of courageous dudes you've never heard of called Wykes Engineering. Courageous because they're the kind of steely-eyed engineering death cheaters sufficiently brave and or crazy to put 30 shitbox eye-pace batteries in a glorified shipping container and call it BESS. Battery Energy Storage System. BESS. Minor point of order on that one. What other kind of fucking battery is there, dudes? What other function does a battery have? Like, if a battery's not storing energy, is it even a battery? Except in relation to hens or artillery or assault and, like, I suppose context is everything. I prefer to think of beautiful British Bessie as a shipping container-sized cobalt-belching thermal runaway of stunning toxicity, frankly, coming soon to a city near you. What a fantastic time to be a firefighter or a paramedic in a completely different city. JLR's prototype Bessie bombs will use engineering prototype batteries, so it's the full battery inception loop right there, basically. Prototypes inside prototypes endlessly and all that. They're finessing the container design right now, I hear, in anticipation of the upcoming tsunami of in-pants poopy eye-pace batteries that will almost certainly follow. The reuse of vehicle batteries forms part of JLR's ambition to adopt circular economy principles based on a use less, use longer, use again philosophy to limit the use of virgin materials. I'm on board with using less, longer, and again, of course, except with toilet tissue, obviously, but surely the place to open this gripping new season of how not to run a car company lies in the high-tech miracle quest simply to engineer less unreliable shitboxes. Or am I being unkind? They don't have to be reliable, just make them slightly less unreliable iteratively. The same basic principle as making Australia less shit. J.D. Power's 2023 US Vehicle Dependability Study, Jaguar in a stellar 26th place overall, yes, only pipped in the shitbox sweepstakes by Mercedes, Ford, Audi, Lincoln, Land Rover, and of course, Tesla. You know you're in a proper shitbox when Jeep is 9 places ahead of you in the more dependable direction. Imagine that. Ain't no mountain high enough. Seriously. These clowns at JLR, no reference to individual clowns is made, they've never seen fit to have a meeting in the boardroom and kind of go, reliability, perhaps we need to start improving that. With this exciting Franken battery project, codenamed Operation Molotov, JLR claims it's developing, quote, circular economy principles, helping to, quote, decarbonise the grid and, quote, address the entire value chain of our vehicles, as well as, quote, developing a complete EV ecosystem from batteries to charging, supporting our net zero transformation. But we're okay with being worse than Daewoo on reliability, even if Daewoo OD'd on crack, which had been laced with elephant urine. When an organisation greenwashes itself this enthusiastically in a press release, they kind of expect the motoring press to chow down on it and regurgitate obediently. This is what grooming looks like. Therefore, this manipulative conduct should be an indictable offence in my estimation, a breach of the Bullshit Management Act of 2024, perhaps. The penalty should be roughly equivalent to whatever a politician gets for flashing in public. I'd suggest the two behaviours are equally undignified. Let me know in the comments below, what should that penalty be? Be creative, dude. There's no penalty. More importantly, perhaps, would you be brave enough to drive in something like, I don't know, the Channel Tunnel at the same time as a shipping container full of 30 somewhat second-hand Jaguar I-Pace batteries? 2.5 megawatt hours of Jaguar ingenuity right there. All that tradition and history in a box. What could go wrong? Pro tip. Each one of those batteries is carefully curated and hand-picked from cars that have already crapped out at least once. Before you answer, consider this. Earlier this year, 100% of the 6,400 I-Paces already in the hands of insufferable twats in America from 2019 to 2023, if memory serves, were recalled due to the risk of catastrophic thermal runaway. This recall was not an abstract concept. It was sparked, literally, by 8 fires in customers' cars. The fix, if you can call it that, was installing a high-temperature alert system. Chernobyl imminent, grab your ankles kind of thing. Well done, and by well done, I mean 0 out of a possible infinity for engineering countermeasures on that one. No engineering intervention to reduce the actual risk of thermal runaway, however. No fundamental change to the cooling or battery management systems, etc. Not that I could find, anyway. Jaguar told Quartz in 2018 that the I-Pace uses a battery comprising 432 pouch cells using nickel manganese cobalt. The supplier is LG Chem, using Satan's proprietary chemistry, the chemistry which is preposterously toxic in a thermal runaway and more susceptible to the thermal runaway event itself than any other. If you're wondering why, for example, Tesla's Model X goes further than an I-Pace with less battery capacity, odds on it's because the I-Pace's technical dudes were so shit scared of the battery's eagerness to make like Dresden on the 15th of February 1945 that they throttled the management system so it won't allow the battery to charge fully or discharge fully, or both. There's really no other plausible engineering explanation for this that I can see beyond just lying pathologically because, hey, it's fun. JLR is, of course, a phalanx of no comments on this issue. Still, to be fair and balanced, there's absolutely no point developing these mega battery Jesus resurrection systems using a reliable donor car, is there? Like, who's going to want to wait a decade or more until donor batteries become widely available? You need a vehicle that's guaranteed to shit itself early. Jaguar is the obvious solution. As your next Prime Minister, I therefore call on Land Rover, Jeep, Three-Prong, Volkswagen, Ford and Audi et al. Elite shitboxes everywhere to ask not what you can do for your EVs. Ask instead what their dead batteries can do for your green reputation. Follow Jaguar's shining example of public self-polishing and lead us not into temptation, but deliver us to electric utopia. Light the way to this battery-powered paradise with cobalt-scented bonfires of the vanities. But please don't be offended if I personally just fuck off and head upwind instead. In closing, and it certainly has been emotional for me, this one, I don't know why, you do realise the poor bastard who has to go in and service these pre-poopy Jaguar mega Franken battery abominations. That poor sap is someone's son.